So imagine you are Grace Mugabe and you're watching these rallies and somebody asks you, how do you think that this is going to end? If you have been around long enough, a part of you might feel like you have seen this movie before. It is the Grace Mugabe Reloaded. Another part of you might feel like you're overthinking it. I am going to explain to you exactly what you are seeing and what will happen next. What we're looking at with these Harare inter-district meetings is not traditional party mobilization. It's something different. It is the reshaping of Zimbabwean politics in real time. And I'm going to explain. If you want to understand what Tagwirei is doing now, you must understand who Tagwirei really is and how he got here. Tagwirei has always been a part of ZANU-PF, but in a very different way. He is not new to factional politics. He was deeply involved in Mugabe versus Gama talks. He financed G40 versus Lacoste. Every Grace Mugabe rally was paid for by Tagwirei. But to his defense, I don't believe he wanted Grace Mugabe to become president. I believe he funded structures that were fighting each other, sometimes without fully understanding the implications. During the G40 era, what was he supposed to do? When the First Lady asks you to fund the resources for her programs, what was he supposed to do? He financed without fully grasping what he was backing until the country was sliding into a coup. By the time he realized the magnitude of what he has done, he changed course and financed the removal of Mugabe. Mugabe is gone because of Tagwirei. I believe Tagwirei will do anything for Mnangagwa because he feels a heavy weight of responsibility of what his money could have done to kill Mnangagwa. For years, ZANU-PF used Tagwirei for his money. Today, he is in ZANU-PF himself as a Central Committee member. Tagwirei is not coming from an ideological point of politics. He doesn't even have an ideology. He is doing what works for him and what aligns with the president's interests. He has absolutely no interest in ZANU-PF as an institution. He does have interest in the president and is looking after the president. He's the second most powerful man in the country next to the president. He reminds me too a lot of Grace Mugabe in 2017. Only different is style. They both do the same thing, but Tagwirei's version is much bigger. Let me look at the parallels. Grace Mugabe had massive rallies that were choreographed, funded, buses, regalia, speeches, building a personality cult around her. Tagwirei has rallies, funded, more polished, but crowds, food, regalia, speeches, and builds a cult brand around him. The same behavior pattern also appears in the crowd, the ululation, the dancing, because the crowd has come to the rally for the giveaways. It's the same psychology that was in the crowd that sang hallelujah to Christ and then crucify him 5 days later. They will sing to whoever is giving them benefits. Grace Mugabe believed she was untouchable because she was married to the president. She openly attacked vice presidents. She humiliated war veterans. She demanded positions. She believed her proximity to power made her invincible until the tanks took her and her husband out of office. Tagwirei too believes he's untouchable because he is the financier of the president. He believes that because he controls fuel, banking, mining, agriculture, it makes him indispensable. He believes that he can cripple the economy and that gives him immunity. History shows that this never survives the pressure. Both Grace and Tagwirei have a sense of invincibility that history generally tends to correct. Now, Tagwirei is growing a power base of his own, and that makes him significantly more dangerous than Grace Mugabe. The game in town right now is eating, olo. Who can find a plate with food and eat and possibly find a kitchen that is going to keep on dishing the food so you keep on eating? I have absolutely no problem with these new groups for ED, like the Mahure for ED. I support them. Top Soup for ED. I totally support them because they are bringing numbers to ZANU-PF, and ZANU-PF wants everyone of the vote. I do not have a problem with, say, Scott Sakupwanya. I saw a recent picture of him. His nose is so big now that it looks like he snorted half of Kariba Dam. But politics has room for drug users too. In fact, he is responsible for a lot of the drugs that are coming into the country, but that's another episode. But I don't even have a problem with him because he gives to the party as much as he takes to the party, from the party. So he is contributing. I do have a problem with another brand. For example, Pokelonare, the most demonic phenomenon in ZANU-PF. By certain societal standards, Pokelo was used by everything that can use a woman. All her relationships collapsed, her celebrity was dimmed, her transactional value had declined. But she repositioned herself, and perhaps perfectly. She married the president's son as a second wife. Now she lives a very luxurious life, designer bags, European trips with her friends, curated Instagram. But she contributes absolutely nothing to the party's survival. She doesn't mobilize, she organizes nothing. She brings no children to the party who maybe can be future voters. She's not even a registered voter. She simply extracts and then displays the world, exactly like Gucci Grace. The Mugabe children flaunted wealth in opulence. The Mugabe sons particularly were not discreet. Now, Mnangagwa's kids are very discreet. They don't flaunt, they don't post. So the new face of the old Mugabe style excess is Pokelo. She is the second wife who arrived when all the work was done, smiled for the pictures and drove off with the luxury car. She is the symbol of the new ZANU-PF, a pure beneficiary who extracts without contributing. She rose by replacing a woman who had done all the work and loved the man when it was not fashionable to love the man. Pokelo performs the extravagance that we no longer see from the Mugabe kids. She is doing nothing wrong legally, but symbolically, she represents the extraction economy that fuels Zimbabwean anger. I'm using this as an example because I want to illustrate the difference between people who take from ZANU-PF and then give back to ZANU-PF versus people who only take from ZANU-PF and we have nothing to collateralize in return. So to me, Tagwirei is something entirely different. He extracts and he produces. He is the engine of the party's current model. Many long-serving ZANU-PF members who have contributed absolutely nothing have more years than him, and they believe that because they've been there longer, even though they contributed absolutely nothing, they should have value. Now, Tagwirei provides fuel, he provides money, he provides agricultural equipment, he provides logistics. He keeps the machine functioning in ways that ideology cannot. And this is where people struggle. The face of ZANU-PF has changed. The revolution is dying with the old guard. Tagwirei represents the next era, a transactionally, economically driven party structure. Think of him as Donald Trump. Trump was a billionaire who bypassed traditional qualifications. Tagwirei is the same. He bypassed war credentials and hierarchical progression by leveraging wealth. Trump mocked establishment figures. Tagwirei is making liberation credentials very irrelevant. If you go to a Tagwirei rally, it's like a Trump rally. Trump rallies are all about him. Tagwirei's rallies are all about him. Trump uses his wealth, Tagwirei uses his wealth. The parallels are striking. But if Tagwirei actually consolidates the power, he will do exactly what Donald Trump did, which is to capture political power using economic power. Now, let me talk about the anatomy of the crowds that you're seeing. Inter-district meetings are supposed to be way smaller than that. Instead, they have become mass events where districts load as many people as they can fit in a bus and as the budget allows. Many people who attend these rallies are professional rally goers. They were there in the Grace era, they were there for Restore Legacy, from every faction. They perform because it pays. They show loyalty to whoever is providing lunch. Besides them, you have desperate newcomers, young people with no jobs, no future, and no alternatives. They come because the opposition doesn't really have space, it protects nobody, they can't go to the diaspora, and the economy doesn't have a solution for them that they understand. ZANU-PF is the only visible route to opportunity. So they come with hope that perhaps visibility will create access. They don't realize that they are just scenery and not participants, but they will learn later. The Tagwirei model is brilliant and catastrophic. Rallies are easy if you have the money. But once you create that culture where rallies are masadaka, where you give people food and clothes, it's going to be very difficult to go back. What that means is district leaders are not going to be able to mobilize any meetings without Tagwirei's resources. You remove his financing, you have nothing. People are always going to ask, is there food? Is there transport? Is there regalia? If the answer is no, they won't attend. This is the new ZANU-PF. And yet, this may be the best version of ZANU-PF for your survival. The old party and its liberation nostalgia doesn't work for you anymore. No one under 40 cares. The new ZANU-PF is ZANU-PF driven by benefits. It rewards performance, not credentials. It operates on logistics, on money, on efficiency. Young people respond to benefits, they don't respond to Mlenga stories. The primary beneficiary of this new order is ZANU-PF itself. It needs the numbers. It doesn't need believers. Ideology doesn't bring numbers. Tagwirei does. The old guard who are coming to these rallies, they just look like decoration now, like props. And they can't oppose Tagwirei because opposing Tagwirei looks like you are opposing the president. ZANU-PF created its own problem. Harare structures were empty for years. Co-option filled them with whoever walked in. Many positions are held by people who never faced an election, who have no support, no competence, no accountability. Tagwirei represents a ZANU-PF driven by money. Eventually, even the most spectacular circus loses its audience. When people realize that they're not part of the show, they're the scenery. Whether that is good or bad, it depends on whether you are inside the machine or outside. The game is how long you can last before the machine needs somebody else. My advice to you, if you want to be successful, is join ZANU-PF. Until next time, head back.